Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today I will be bringing you my review of the Transformers The Last Knight Deluxe Class Berserker. And here he is in his Chevrolet Suburban, and you can tell that because of the little Chevy symbol right there on the grill and on the back of the Suburban. And yes, that's what this is. More specifically, this is sort of a police version of it, which you can tell by the police lights on top of the vehicle. And I gotta say, it's really nice to have a figure here that has a realistic alt mode that is based on that has a real world counterpart that I can refer to. It's so nice. I think the last figure I did a review on, that had a real world counterpart was, I think it was Generations Thunderwing, which was based on a I want to say Russian fighter jet, but I don't remember now. I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, here's Berserker. Really nice amounts of detail. Very, I guess, faithful recreation of a Chevy Suburban in Transformer form. Got nice bits of details like the door handles, a nice little Decepticon, detailed wheels, grill, windshield wipers. Like, they went all out. I love the Last Knight figures. Well, the new figures, when they're not repaints, when they're like the new figures, are actually very well done. And nice amounts of detail. And I might as well mention it since it fell off. These little things down here is the way that you store his accessories, which are these two weapons. Which I'll go into more detail as to what these are in when I get to his robot mode. So I'll take that off to the side. And yeah, to store them, you just peg them onto here, as you saw. So just match them up the angle and just peg it in, and that's how you store it in a vehicle mode. And it actually doesn't go against, it doesn't interfere with his rolling, which he actually rolls quite nicely and quite loudly on wooden surfaces. But yeah, and these accessories, I'll talk more about them in his robot mode. And I think that's about it with vehicle mode. It's a very, very nice vehicle mode. And so let's just get on with transformation. As you saw, down here is where you store the weapons. So, transformation. Let's go. Now, what was the first step here? I think first you're supposed to pop this up and forward. And then you have to pull something. Oh, I think it was this. This, you have to like pull this up. Yes, pull this up. Then push and fold back. Pull up over here and pull up. You have to like unpeg this from here. You can see here's the peg and there's the port. You unpeg it. And then you come back here, get your nail in there, and then it'll let you separate this. So then you separate from here. Let's see. You unpeg this. There. There we go. To free his robot mode legs. And yes, that's his robot mode head there. So then what you do here is that you finish folding this down and around like that. Rotate this forward. Then you fold this thing back. As you see, he's like folded there. Fold it back like so. And then just straighten out his legs. And to do that, you have to like bend. See, bend at the knee and then bend this forward. And pull out the heel spur. Bend. Heel spur, and there we go. His lower half is ready. So let's get with the top here. Let me just lift up a little. So let's start working with the upper torso here. So now you come in here and you start folding, like you fold this back. Am I supposed to do something else here? No, this back, this fold. So you're supposed to fold this down like so. And hold on. And then in there. That way it gives you clearance to bring this down and rotate. Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. There's like these, I don't know if you can see them, but there are like two pegs in here that port into the top of these police lights. So yeah, you just fold this like so, fold, double fold, and make sure that these line up here, and then you peg it in. Peg it in. I like leaving it like this and then folding that up. You bring this up. And then you're free to do this however way you want. You could do this, but I don't like having this panel here. I prefer it like this. And then just having this folded up. Like so. I like it like this. It looks like he has a sort of a mini cape or something. I don't know, this just looks off to me. So I just have it like this or like that. It doesn't matter. It's up to you, really. So then, bring forward the head a little bit. It's on its own little separate ball joint. And then, bring down the arms. Like so. Rotate them. Come back here. Unpeg and lift up this shoulder spike. Unpeg and lift up this shoulder spike. And I don't think you're able, I think it's a bit too dark here. Let me just get some more light in here. And there we go, we got a little bit more light here. Alright, oh, and then for the arm, you have to come out, flip up the hand, and then fold this down. Flip up hand, fold down, and you just adjust them, pose them however you like. And there is Beserker. See? Transformation is not too bad. Pretty straightforward transformation. It's kind of nice. Check out that head sculpt. Really cool. Love that all, see, 2, 4, 6, 8. All 8 of his eyes are painted red, and it's very nice. Like the little, well, since I pulled off his head, I might as well just zoom in on it. And the nice little rubbery dreads here. Dreadlocks. Horns on the back, very nicely detailed. You can tell it has its own little ball joint here. Moves there, and then it's on a pretty loose, at least on my figure, it's kind of loose ball joint. And there you go. Very nicely detailed figure. Captures the character, since he did so much in the movie. I'll go into the facts area and sort of talk about all of that. Yeah, this is his robot mode. Very nice, very cool design. I honestly wasn't into it at first, but then I actually got him on sale, so I sort of bit the bullet and just got him. And I gotta say, he's a lot better, you know, on hand than you think from like the images. Unless you really like this design, then, you know, go for it. But let's go on with some articulation then. The head, as you saw, has like its own joint here, so it goes up and down, and it is on a ball joint. Ball joints do what ball joints do. The spikes are on their own ball joint, so you can actually pose them. Arms are on ball joints and have a little shoulder movement there. But the back here will get in the way. There's a swivel there. Bend at the elbow, and you can maybe move a little bit of his hand, which is painted and has some thumbs, which is nice. As for the legs, no waist, but if you want, he does have an ab crunch. That's mainly for transformation, but he does have it if you want to, you know, use it for something. He also has an X painted, so like, I want to say spray painted on there, which is kind of neat. For legs, unfortunately, you can only do an okay kick. And the legs are on ball joints with a swivel there, a bend at this knee, and you can move this. It also has its own bend. And that's about it. So yeah, he's got pretty decent articulation. Not decent, not just decent. He got pretty good articulation. And it's quite nice. Now let me go on. He also stands pretty well, but you do have to finagle a little bit because his heels are very tiny. I would have liked those were at least a little bit bigger. So yeah. I guess it's not funny to bring up these little spike weapons, which he didn't use in the movie, but I'll explain like what these are. What these are actually supposed to be, these are sort of spiked bombs, actually. They're bombs, and like I said, I'll explain why I know them in a little bit. But yeah, these are supposed to be bombs, and he can hold it in each hand, like so. Which is kind of nice. And to store them, it's not really legitimate. I mean, you could, these are the sort of the pegs that he stores in vehicle mode, so you can peg it like this. If you really wanted to, you could have him like that on his legs, but it looks weird, and I don't think you're supposed to do that. What the instructions say you're supposed to do is just hang them off the back like so, and hang them. They don't peg or anything, and it doesn't look half bad. They're just not They're... Oh, and it fell. Well, I'll go get it later. It's not that important. But yeah, they're not pegged in as you could see there. So what you're supposed to do is just hang them off there. Kind of weak. Would have liked if it had a legitimate spot to peg into. But No, that's a genuine complaint. I wish the accessories had an actual proper place of storage than just hanging them off the back. I would have liked if they clipped on or something. And alright, so overall the figure's really nice. It's got articulation, pretty neat accessories, really nice design, especially if you're a fan of the movie figures. And now to address some of the facts. And I might as well address the elephant in the room. Yes, he looks like Crankcase from Dark of the Moon. And there is a reason for that. And also that's also the same reason why I didn't get this figure until like recently. And that's because for the longest time, I thought this figure was a repaint of the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Crankcase. That's what I thought it was because, and this is weird, the CGI model in the movie, The Last Night, Berserker does show up for a second, but he does nothing. He just shows up, he yells out, "I'm gonna drink your blood" to his human captors, and that's about it. Because Megatron was trying to recruit him, part of his crew. But yeah, he doesn't do anything in the movie. And the CGI model of Berserker in the movie was the same one used for Crankcase in the Dark of the Moon film. So the studio or whatever decided to reuse the Crankcase CGI model for the character of Berserker, who does nothing in the movie. And yet he has a lot of toys based on this character. There's like a lot of figures representing Berserker, even though he did nothing in the movie. He did almost nothing. He just, yelled out one time. And, so yeah. But yeah, they essentially reused everything, like almost all the aspects of Crankcase were reused into Berserker. But it is a brand new figure. I ended up looking into what the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Crankcase looked like. And it's actually completely different. This is a brand new figure. Funny enough, a more accurate crankcase than that Crankcase figure. So I can sort of see this eventually being, very easily repainted into a Dark of the Moon Crankcase, especially with this whole movie studio series thing. I can see it very easily done, or someone out there just painting it themselves into a Crankcase. Because this is actually pretty accurate to what Crankcase looks like, since the CGI model. So in a way, you can sort of imagine Berserker here as a remake of Crankcase, of the figure. You can say that they took the figure and remade it into this figure, which is honestly, it's a much better figure. I think I held that Dark of the Moon. I was looking into the Dark of the Moon figure, and it wasn't that great. But this figure is actually far superior, in my opinion. It's a lot more screen accurate to Crankcase. And also, and I guess by extension to Berserker, since this guy does have the, if you look carefully at his head, he does have the nose ring that Berserker has in the movie. And yeah, so yeah, even the vehicle mode and these weapons, I know they're bombs because in the Dark of the Moon film, Crankcase used them and they were sticky bombs. They were spiked spear sticky bombs, that's what they were. So yeah, I'm in a very weird place now. I'm not the biggest fan of Dark of the Moon. Like, I enjoyed the movie, but it's probably my least favorite of all of the Transformer films. So far, anyway. And Berserker, he's just Crankcase. He's a more movie-accurate Crankcase. It's weird. They should have just called him Crankcase. Just say that Crankcase survived the events of Chicago and just came back. I don't know. What was the point of making this Berserker? Obviously sell more toys, so that way when they repaint them into Crankcase, some fan of the Dreads would buy them. But yeah, so anything else I want to say? Yeah, he's a remake of Crankcase. He's basically a new version of Crankcase. Even the vehicle mode, the Chevy Suburban, is the same one as both the film Crankcase and the Deluxe Class toy. But it's weird because this is a brand new figure. I don't know why that's bugging me so much, but yeah, I think I've been going on too long for this. So yeah, this has been my review of, before I go into that, overall, it's a very solid figure. It's nice, it's got articulation, it's pretty detailed. The transformation is kind of fun. Like, just watch out because, at least for me, I did bend his right panel here, so just watch out. But yeah, I guess I would have liked if he had better, like, larger heels so that he can, I don't know. No, who am I kidding? The biggest complaint I have is that I wish the weapons were would have an actual place to store, like an effective place to store in his robot mode, like peg it in somewhere, because I don't see anything. Well, wait, can this peg in here? Can I peg that in there? Can I? Nope, it just hangs off his thing. It's very annoying. Man, very nice figure. So yeah, overall, I recommend the figure. If you're a fan of, I guess, Beserker, I wouldn't imagine anyone's out there because he didn't do anything, but okay, if you like what you see, if you think it's a very nice design, if you were a fan of the dreads from Dark of the Moon, then go for this figure. It's a very nice figure, very solid figure, and it's just a pretty good figure. Which is funny because not a lot, I think, whenever I go to the store and I look at the Last Night figures, Berserker's like the most common one. And I kind of see why, because like I said, he didn't do anything in the movie, and I guess more older fans who remember Crankcase from Dark of the Moon would just be like, it's just Crankcase. And they probably had that figure and probably had my mentality where they thought that this was a remake of that toy, when in fact it's actually a brand new toy, which just throws me off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, as of right now, this mold was actually extensively retooled into the Studio Series, the Transformers Studio Series crowbar, which, funny enough, they ended up reusing this for a Dread, which is kind of ironic, which is just weird. I don't know what I feel about this guy. This guy's I feel weird about him. Whatever, overall solid figure. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers The Last Night Deluxe Class Beserker. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.